With that being said, we're gonna get into some of our weekly previews. We obviously go over the what was it? The Jets versus the Bills. So the Bills are the -9 favorite. Obviously, I think it's because of they're at home. So what are your thoughts with this game? How do you see this really playing out?
Yeah, the Jets actually beat the Bills earlier this year on a Josh Allen fumble, I believe that they
Yeah.
sack fumbled them on the what would have been a potential game winning drive for the Bills late in the game. I think the Bills are going to handle business this time. They get the Jets at home. The Jets are going through this weird quarterback transition where they don't want to start Zach Wilson, so they want to go with Mike White. Mike White has one good game. He's the savior. All of a sudden, he comes back to earth. Now, what are they going to do? I told you immediately after they mentioned they were going to start Mike White. I didn't understand that
Yeah.
because Zach Wilson is the potential franchise quarterback, and they've been winning games. I mean, look at their record; they've been winning with Zach Wilson. So I don't understand the change. I feel like in that situation, the Jets would have been better off sticking with Zach Wilson and trying to work through the issues, right?
Hmm.
Because instead you change to quarterback, and on one hand, it might help because it makes Zach Wilson maybe more focused and dial in and say, "Oh, I really have to be on top of my game, or these guys are going to bench me." But on the other hand, you kind of bail him out from figuring out the issues that were happening with the offense. So now when Zach Wilson comes back, yeah, they probably told him, "Oh, look, you got to do this better, you got to do that better." But he hasn't really worked it out. He hasn't had a chance to figure it out. And as a young quarterback, you don't get a
Definitely like
chance to
grow
learn
through
that
that.
way. It's almost like if you look at basketball, some coaches they won't call the timeout when things go bad because they want you to work through it. They don't want to bail you out by calling the timeout,
Right.
right? And so this was like that type of situation to me, and I feel like they might have made the wrong decision. I'm not. I don't think destroys anything with the Jets or anything like that
Yeah.
long term, but I think it would have been better. They would have been better off to keep him. I don't. I haven't heard anything. I haven't paid attention much to what's been said about the quarterback status of the Jets. I think Mike White is still the presumed starter at this point. I'll be interested to see how this turns out after this game because we know how good the Bills are. They're going to put up points, and they also have a pretty solid defense.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Bills might torpedo Mike White in this game, and they have to trot out Zach Wilson. But yeah, look, nine point spread. When you look at the record, that seems a bit funny. But like we said, with these quarterback issues and the
You
Jets
never know
just
what's gonna
and the
really
Jets
happen.
just ability to fail somehow, no matter how good they're doing. This year they're having a good year. They could just completely implode right now and miss the playoffs for all we know.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I do think they're gonna lose this game. I think it's a lot to be going through the struggles they're going through right now, with the quarterback issues, and then play a solid team like the Bills in their house. Especially when
It's
you know
December too, so
it's December. It's cold, which both teams play in the cold, right? They play in the Northeast with no dome, um, out in the elements. But you know, the Bills have dropped some games that they should have won. They need to win these games. And they have a higher ceiling and a higher gear that they could go to that the Jets just can't.
they don't have that. Yeah.
And yeah, so I see the Bills winning this game. 9 points is a lot. I'd probably say it's probably 60-40 the Bills cover. More likely that they cover than not. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was a close game either because the Jets defense does show up and tend to find a way to make some stops. But yeah, certainly a fun game. And I also don't think the weather is going to be too bad this weekend. So won't be any like crazy snow games or something like that, which would
Yeah.
be fun to see, but would probably hurt the Bills' chances a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean I'm right with you. I don't think the Jets are gonna be able to sustain the Bills. And then on top of that, the Bills want revenge for losing. So that plays into a lot of things. So